Some woman will fall in love. Well, he's nice. He wears a sweater. He likes to bake. You know. He lets me finish my stories. Which is all great qualities. Okay? But you gotta know, when you shack up with a guy like that, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice that fucking axe murderer is gonna pick the next house over. Because God forbid he picks your goddamn house. This is the dude who has your back, who's gonna be screaming louder and higher than you when this guy comes through the fucking door. And you're gonna turn around and all you're gonna see is his cowardly feet going out the kitchen window. I don't know, man, that's risky. You know, reality, I'm being too hard on that guy, you know? Yeah, I am, because I was just as scared as he was. Except I didn't scream out like he did. And that's simple. The simple reason was this dude, he was hugged too much as a child. Having people go, how was your day? What's wrong? And all of that shit, you know? That's why I came down here, man, I'm telling you. I came out here to tell you guys, you gotta stop hugging your children. You know? You are ruining this country. Now, you can hug your daughters. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You gotta do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you gotta fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. None of that shit. First time my mom hugged me, I think it was like once when I was little, and then when I moved out. That was it. And we only hugged because we knew we were supposed to. So we just tried to it was like 2 parking meters came to life. We almost bumped heads. It was horrific. Fucking horrific. You know, to this day, sometimes I drive down the street and I think about that hug, and it's just it's so awful, I have to shout the memory out of my head. I'll just be driving down the street, just be like, ah! Ah! Anybody else like that? You ever have to shout stuff out of your head? There's something about me, all my regret comes up when I'm in the shower. I don't know what it is. I think because I'm in the shower and I have time to think. And I'll just think of shit I did in 3rd grade, where I just made an ass of myself, and I just will be in the shower just being like, ah, ah. And my wife's always just like, is everything okay in there? And I'll just be like, yeah, just accidentally turn on the hot water. Turn it on too much. Every day? So, yeah. I actually asked my mother one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted. I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So. Yeah. So she basically never hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night was a tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. So, yeah, this is the deal. I'm going to defend my dad here because this is basically what happens when you have a kid. As far as I know, I don't have any kids, but as far as I would think, if you have a fucking kid, what do you want to do? You want to improve on your childhood, okay? You want to keep the shit that your parents did that worked, and then you want to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. So that was my dad, as fucked up as that was his improvement on his childhood that he never talks about, the way a veteran doesn't talk about going to war, you know? So I figure if that was his improvement on his childhood just must have been something like, don't change his shitty diaper. Let him figure it out for himself. Get out in the rain, you shitty baby. Hey, let me handle this, lady. Why are you still standing here, you shit toddler? So, he took it from that and knocked it down to, don't hug him, it's gonna make him gay, right? And then maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools, you know, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. You go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right? Like, then he can do all he wants. Then he can do all the fuck he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that at a public school with those goddamn animals. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. He's gonna come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? And you wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. So, yeah, a lot in my life has changed since I last came through here to Atlanta. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties, it was just weird. Because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married, they all had kids, and I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know? I feel like a little kid. They're sitting there going like, oh, the superintendent of the mayoral candidate will be bi-coastal, bipartisan with the Middle Eastern crisis. And just... So, anyways, there's been the Me Too movement has happened since the last time I was here. Well, no, it had to happen, Jesus Christ. But, you know, I think it's dying down. You know? I don't know, I think they got everybody. Right? Just judging by the stories, I feel like they kind of got everybody. Because the first stories that came out, they were fucking unbelievable. It was just guys taking their dicks out at work, like, look at it, look at it! Fucking blocking doors and jizzing on plants. You're fucking at home watching, Jesus Christ, people did this shit? I remember this one poor woman said she was a PA, went into some director's trailer, and he allegedly came running out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was masturbating. He was masturbating vigorously. I'm thinking in my head like, as opposed to what? As far as I know, there is only one successful way to perform that act, and that would be vigorously. Is there another way to do it? Can you do it passively? You know? Is that how Sting does it? Is that how he's able to fuck for hours and hours? Fans a little air on it, he puts on fields of gold, just lets that thing rise up, just letting it marinate, right? Yeah, so the stories were big in the beginning, like, oh my God, what a bunch of fucking animals. And then they just started tapering off. And about, I don't know, 6 months in, they just sounded like bad dates. It was like, he was 10 minutes late, the chicken was cold, I think I was raped, career over. What about my side of the story? Fuck your side of the story. You have a dick and balls, we don't want to hear it. Yeah. It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women. Believe women, right? It's a little open-ended, huh? Just straight across the fucking board, all of them, every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88%? And that last 12, percent that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, that's the world we're fucking living in right now. No, everything has just become fucking absolutes in the States. It's fucking nuts. Like that Colin Kaepernick guy, right? You knew when he was like protesting during the national anthem, no one was gonna listen to what the fuck he had to say. No matter how much he explained it. He goes, I'm taking a knee during the national anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. He got about halfway through that. People like, my brother's fighting in Iraq, you fucking piece of shit! And it's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that your brother's not a firefighter. I had a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't see a fucking podiatrist. All right? You're not listening. That's what it became. It went from not listening to women to just believe women, right? And then, you know, and then people just like, did you see that story? Did you read the story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem. Get the fuck out. You know? No means no. That's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no, all right? But no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people, right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that. She didn't say it like that. Yeah. So now everybody's just like scared shitless. You know? Because I guess if women ran the world, there'd be no war. Evidently, there'd be no due process either. You know? I do have a dog. That doesn't count for anything. I've never understood that. You know? I love my dog, but I've learned a lot being a dog owner, man. You know? Any dog's a good dog unless you're a psycho. You know? I got a pit bull. It's still a great dog unless you're a fucking psycho. And evidently, I'm a psycho because my dog has just been a complete maniac over the last like 6 months, you know? I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes. You know? Like if you're chilling, they're chilling. You know, if you're sleeping, they're sleeping. But if you're a psycho like me and you're screaming at the ref on TV being like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me! I didn't realize the dog was over in the corner being like, yeah, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This is bullshit. I don't know what this guy's mad at, but I love this guy. This guy feeds me. Is it the door? Are you mad at the door? Yeah, I had no idea I was amping this dog up. I was so selfishly in my own world. I'd be like on the computer and it would crash and be like, oh, really? Really? Dog's over in the corner with like a chew toy. I never noticed like that Game 7 look she was getting on her face. And one day I amped her up too much, had no clue, and I went outside. We were just walking down the street and some poor bastard comes the other way and the dog's like, that's that motherfucker. Lunge at this guy. I had to pull her back. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. She's never done anything like that, right? Looking down at the dog, what's wrong with you? Dog's looking up at me like, huh? I got that son of a bitch, didn't I? I love you. You feed me. I got you. How the hell did you see him that far away, man? Your ears must be better than mine. It's unbelievable. Right? Then I got nervous. I got nervous around my own dog. I started thinking, fuck, are pit bulls really like this? Do they just go psycho? Man, this is nuts, right? That's another bad vibe to have around your dog because they pick up on that vibe, right? This dude comes walking down the street and I immediately just start thinking like, oh shit, she gonna do it again? Oh shit, oh shit. Dog just looks at me like, oh shit, what? Oh shit, what? Him? Ah! Runs into another guy. Had to pull her back. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Looking down at the dog. Dog's trying to chest bump me and shit, right? Dude, it got so bad one day, she almost ate a landscaper, right? Yeah, so I'm like, I gotta take this thing to a trainer, man. So I load it up in the Prius and I drive over there, right? Yeah, I have a Prius. Go ahead, judge me. I love that shit. If you have a Prius, people, you know, you can't win. You got a truck with a big lift kit, people, oh, it's probably because he has a little dick. Right? How come it's not because he has a dick down to the floor? Maybe that's why he needs all that clearance, right? You know? If that means you have a little dick, then if I have a Prius, doesn't that mean I have a huge dick, right? Because according to my friends, it means I'm a fag, right? Anyways. Let me towel off here for a moment. So I fucking take this dog down to this trainer, right? And I show up, got the dog in the back. The trainer comes out, he's got his hat on backwards, he got stubble, you know, big, large cargo pants, you know, all shorts on and stuff. I'm thinking, this guy's a psycho, right? And I look at my dog's like sizing him up. I'm like, this is perfect, he can handle him. So the guy goes, all right, when you hand this dog to me, make sure you got the leash totally taut like that, all right? Don't have any slack in it. I said, no problem, right? And somehow I fucked up, I left a little slack in it, and this dog just lunged right at the dude's balls, right? And just barely missed him and just got a big mouthful of his big cargo shorts, right? And immediately he just grabs it and goes, all right, get out of here, right? But instinctually, I tried to help out, and he just goes, get the fuck out of here! Yeah, I didn't realize that the only reason why the dog was acting like that was because I was there and it felt like it needed to protect me. So the second I left, the situation immediately just became awkward, right? Dog was just sitting there like, okay, like I thought we were like together and we were like friends and you were some bad guy and all of a sudden he just drove away and I don't know how to feed myself. You want to be friends? Yeah, I come back 4 days later, the dog's laying at the guy's feet, right? He's rubbing her belly, she's reaching up, playing with his goatee and shit. And he goes, go ahead, have a seat. Why don't you take me through your day with this dog? Immediately I started getting like this First 48 vibe, right? Like they're coming at me. So I got like defensive. I'm like, what do you mean? I take it for a hike every morning. He goes, that's good. Anything, special happen on the hike? I'm like, well, I don't know. She takes a shit. I pick it up. He's like, all right, easy. You play any games with her? I go, yeah, at the end of the hike. I let her, for reward for going on the hike, I let her run up the stairs by herself. I go, go on, Cleo. I let her run up the stairs, and I count 5 1,000, and then I run up there, and then we start wrestling. Put her in a headlock, sweep her front legs, right? But her tail's wagging, She's not growling. I go, that's a good thing, right? He's like, no, it's fucking horrible. I'm like, why? He goes, you just taught your dog to claim the house and then fight for it every fucking day after the hike. No wonder this thing's trying to attack the mailman, So then I got upset. I'm like, wait a minute, dude, you're telling me like I can't even play with my dog? He's like, no, you can play with it, but you got to bring that energy back down. The problem is you keep amping this thing up, getting that Mike Singletary look on his face. Then by the time you walk out, doesn't matter if you're relaxed, mentally the dog is like walking through the tunnel at the Rose Bowl like, this is what we play for! Somebody hit somebody! Yeah, so I'm actually learning to control my temper because of a fucking pit bull. Yeah. No, it's a very, I don't know. Times are changing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Michelle Obama's doing an arena tour. That's another thing going on. I'm going to say that again. Michelle Obama is doing an arena tour. She's not playing comedy clubs. She's doing arenas. When did first ladies start acting like they got elected? Dude, being a first lady, that's not a fucking job. Just standing there smiling and waving. Right? Look how quiet is it in here. Why is it so fucking quiet? You think that's a job? It's not a fucking job. Dude, if you really think it's a job, just look at her. Right? Look at Obama. When that guy got elected, he looked like he was about 41 years old. When he left office, that guy looked like he was about 73. Right? Look at Michelle. She looks younger now than she did when that dude got elected. What has she done for the last 8 years? Yeah, other than laying a giant vat of Illuminati-level lotion, just sitting there floating. A couple hours, a shapeshifter comes in and dumps another bucket on her. She pops her head up. Hey, Bam Bam, tell Stevie Wonder to come down and play some songs tonight. Now, I found out she's doing a tour because she's doing a book tour. Yeah, she wrote a book. She wrote a book about not having a job. I gotta read that fucking book. Chapter 1, how to know if a dick tastes presidential. How to weed your way through all that local representative cock and get to the big swinging dick in the room. I'll tell you right now, say what you want about Republican presidents, but they got their first ladies in line.
They do. Dude, George W. was president for 8 years. 8 years. I don't even know his wife's name. What was it, Abigail or some shit? Maggie? No clue. Donald Trump's wife stands behind him like a giant meerkat, like... Bill Clinton was president, his wife never shut up. Ah, I want to do healthcare. Ah! He fucked around on her so much, he's like, all right, whatever, just do it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna check out that fucking tour. I gotta see what that's all about. You know? Who opens? Who opens on that fucking tour? Was it Oprah Winfrey's husband? You know? Does he fucking come out and talk about what it's like to walk her dogs? I do it for 20 minutes a day. The Cocker Spaniel's probably the most fussiest, and I gotta bring him around. Look, I'm sure that there's some feminists in the crowd right now not appreciating this joke, feeling triggered, feeling like they need to fucking put out a hashtag or some shit and be brave and speak out. You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, someday, there's going to be the first woman president. All right? Which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. Fucking, I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday, there's gonna be... By the way, this is gonna be my last show ever. By the time this fucking thing comes out. Someday, there's gonna be the first female president, which means there's gonna be the first male first lady. Right? And you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists throwing me. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady. He's gonna get treated like Tom Arnold when he was with Roseanne. Secret Service name will be like Appendix or Doesn't Matter. Not worthy of protecting. Just entered the Oval Office. Not worthy of protecting.
And as luck would have it, I was in New York City in June, which I quickly found out was Gay Pride Month. The whole month. And let me tell you something, the gay guys show up strong. It is wall to wall. The fucking island is almost tipping over. There's so many of them. And I'm sitting there like going, oh my God, 30 days of this shit? I'm walking around with this orange Freddie Mercury fucking dick broom on my face. I am going to be getting harassed up and down the street. I was in actor shape, man. I was fucking shredded. I got to tell you something, man. When I tell you 30 days of June, not one gay guy even fucking looked at me. Forget about even hit on me. I have never felt so old and undesirable in my life. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. It's this one thing as a man, when you get so old that women don't look at you anymore, like you know you're gonna hit that age. You know that day's coming, but nobody tells you at some point you're gonna get so old, not even a man wants to fuck you, right? Dude, that is a statement. When you get so old, some queen in his 60s is like, keep it moving, I can do better than that. Jesus Christ. Get some fucking hair plugs or something. Get a spray tan. I can get some in its 40s. Go on. Keep going. Dude, it was like, I was like having like this fucking panic attack. I was thinking like, oh my God, I waited too long to get married. I had kids too late. I'm going to die soon. I was like literally like wrapping up my life, you know? So I'm walking down like 9th Avenue, you know, putting a little swish in my fucking step, just trying to get something. I was desperate. Fuck you ladies, you've been there. You know how it is. You want to think you got one more in you, you know? So I'm tra-la-la down the street. I really wish that wasn't the truth. So I'm going down 9th Avenue, and all of a sudden I looked up, and about 2 blocks away, all of a sudden I see this lesbian coming up the block, okay? Now I know this is Boulder, Colorado, right? So you guys are all like, fucking, hey man, you know? Like, how did you like know she was a lesbian, man? Like, that's not cool. You just looked at her and you just knew she was a lesbian. You don't know her. How do you just know somebody's a lesbian? Easy. The same way you do. The same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021, you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? Well, it's funny. If some white kid came in here, like 20 years old, hair slicked back, collar popped, loafers, no socks, you'd be looking at him thinking like, all right, frat boy, date rapist, his dad's a judge, he's not going to jail. Yeah, just killed 5 people in a drinking and driving accident, already has a new Dodge Challenger on the way, right? Yeah, you're allowed to see that. That you can see, clear as day. Lesbian, I know. No, but that's how progressive you guys are, right? You don't have any idea, right? Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker, sports fan, painter, skateboarder, lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? Am I I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Right? Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%. But gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. Right? So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're gonna bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like another 30 yards, and all of a sudden, she drifts back into my lane again. And I'm sitting there walking like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Thought I solved this problem. All right, so I fucking dip into another lane again, right? Okay, I'm walking. We go another 30 yards. She comes back into my lane again. So now, like, I'm up against the curb. So now I'm, like, thinking, like, okay, how do I do the politically correct math here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to step off into the bike lane and have some young kid on his electric bicycle come by, 40 miles an hour, run me over? I go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this lesbian that walked me off the fucking block? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to give up the whole sidewalk? Like, oh, your gayness? Right? Or do I stiffen up my shoulder and protect my lane? Right? Now, I'm not proud of this, but I chose the latter. All right? I was like, look, I'm 53. I moved twice. I have an AARP card. I'm the fucking victim here. So I stiffen up the shoulder, and then immediately I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna get crazy. I have never done this with a female before. This is in public. People are gonna see this shit. What's gonna happen, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you. She started closing in. She was moving, so I like leaned in. Like I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor, and I was not gonna get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second, she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. Okay? Now, I know most of you guys drive, so I will break down pedestrian etiquette really quickly in New York City. This is the deal. If you're walking down the street in New York, right? You're walking, and if you just sort of brush sleeves with somebody, you don't have to stop. You can just look over your shoulder. Hey, sorry, man. My bad. Have a nice day, right? Then there's the next level. Moves up a little bit. You're walking down the street, you actually bump into somebody, you actually have to turn around. Sorry, didn't see you. Little dojo bow. My bad. Whatever you have to do, my sensei to keep it from escalating. And then there's the last one. You're just walking down the street and you hit so fucking hard, you got to turn around and go like old school Dustin. Huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation. And let me tell you something. She never looked back. And I'm not going to lie to you. That bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just walking around New York, just fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way you didn't do that on purpose. Who does that? Who drifts, you know? And I'm feeling this anger. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's gonna settle in my chest, and then one more time it's gonna be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter, I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, you know, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to accidentally drift into your lane twice? You know? So I just started throwing shit on the wall. Oh, here we go. Did she have a club foot? No. Did she just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? You know? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? You know? Is she one of those, yeah, you know, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, you know, they're walking too slow, you try to go around to the right, they start dragging their suitcase over there, you go over to the left, they're coming back this way, you know, it's like they just got off a ship, and everything was just like, no, cut! Right? And I was still mad. Still fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Lied to myself. Said I didn't give a fuck, you know? So then I ended up going home. And I'm home and I'm washing the dishes, which is a very Zen-like thing to do. It's like a week later. You know, you wash dishes, you're not thinking of anything. Your brain is empty. I'm washing the dishes, and then all of a sudden, the answer just came to me. It just floated into my head. And I just looked up. I was like, oh my God. I know why she did it. I know why she bumped into me. She bumped into me because she's a lesbian. I mean, it was right there. I was like looking 9 miles down the street, looking under shrubs. It was right in front of my face. She did it because she's a lesbian. All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that is. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but.
What makes you feel old about watching TV?
Well, music, there's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, they run out of the room like they just saw a witch. And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy.
What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so, you know?
Here he's go. Conan's going for it.
I would say 13% of people on the internet are cool. The rest of them, they're just a bunch of animals. Why would you want to talk to them?
Wait, you're saying only 13% of people
are cool. 13% are cool. The other 87% are writing horrific stuff under YouTube videos. They're assholes.
Yeah. It's worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look, No, I can't say that. I was gonna say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from we went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that Believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
You're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment for the genius. I was making fun of the military, which you can't do now. Like we totally went from Vietnam, all the hippies being like, "Hey man, you're like a baby killer, man," to like now you got to give like a standing ovation when they walk over to Delta. You know what I mean? Show that you're not in ISIS. Like I don't know what you have to be doing. Like thank you.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did you really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in...
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Now they're going after 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the whores? Right?
What?
Why are you looking at me like you don't know what whores are?
Divorce. Oh, divorce. I thought you said the horse.
No, I said whores. You're both wrong. I said whores.
Oh, whores. Whores. Wait a minute. Andy and I, this has never happened before where you and I both misunderstand.
Yeah. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, at a ridiculous level. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. That's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with a pizza and a drink, that's not holding, and just be and enjoy ourselves. And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of be loudly hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you...
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at him groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose. Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman in an undersexed marriage after a couple of drinks. I'm telling you, cover your junk, because she's coming full court press. You're having a full-on breakdown.
I am not. You're just not listening. I am listening to every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got, and then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you? You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are you getting into the holiday spirit? We're getting close. Christmas coming up. Get excited? Come on.
Yes, I am. I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. It just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled. You know?
Yeah. You don't like.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why wouldn't you just admit that you can't afford it at regular prices? Come back the next day. Come back the next day like a gentleman. Just walk in there, pick out what you want, and if your kids get less, they get less. That gives them drive. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So yeah, you don't get trampled grabbing your wig, you know. Suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above-ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like, make it like a high-end store. Like, you're going to, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
They got trampled.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're gonna go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down, and then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out at these? It's the saddest thing. It's one year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, you should just like float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. Like, no matter how many hot air balloons he had.
No, it's a bad idea. You don't want billionaires in hot air balloons dropping toasters on people. That's a stupid idea.
You have like a little parachute. All right, gift certificates.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi, you think you're being healthy, you're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking
I
prize.
get my stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
Discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's gonna.
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not gonna allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not gonna allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just gonna plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Did you see my Adam Sandler interview?
Kevin Nealon. Dude, people told me that you fanned out so bad. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love Burr Kreitzer. When you were like this, hang on a second. Hang on, Adam, hang on a second. I have a story I want to tell.
Porn, I got to have a childhood. Can you imagine if that shit was around when I was, oh my God, I can't, like these kids nowadays, it's like they're 8 years old and the brain damage they have, it's like they've been on the Vice Squad for like 40 years.
You're not glad, but like the two interviews are H3H3 and Theo Von, where everyone's like, did you see that interview? And by the way, knowing you, I don't see anything wrong with the interview.
I had a great time on the Theo Von thing. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I don't know either.
I left that. We had a good time. I showed him my truck. We had a great fucking time.
I thought you guys had a great time. I thought it was a great interview. I think it is, I knowing both of you, you were not you, and he was not him.
People like to take a little fucking thing and then gas it up and make it something else, and then it becomes like, that's all they're doing.
That's
like
all.
What's funny is the average douchebag on these fucking social media is no different than these giant corporate news agencies where they're just taking shit out of context to cause something that didn't even happen, so you'll stop and watch it so they can make money off of views.
Yeah.
And people on the internet do the exact same thing. They know exactly where to cut it, where to begin it, and where to end it to take it from a level 2 up to fucking 12.
I watched you and Theo's whole interview, didn't find anything wrong with it, including what people will say is how it ended, which is you going, I have to go, I have to leave now.
Yeah, my kid was getting up. It had nothing to do with him.
And then I watched the you got to see this interview with Bill and Theo, and they chop it up to make it look like you don't like him, you don't get him. And
do they do that with Rogan, where they'll do like his reaction, that guy, and they totally make a completely different interview that didn't even happen.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me about that. That's all my interviews.
Yeah, so why would you watch that shit? I don't watch
it. I watch it, but I don't know. But that doesn't.
You know what? Fuck you, Bert.
They're gonna cut this up now.
It's funny because like even I have to admit, like I've discovered a couple of comics that I love that could be, Republicans or whatnot, right? They're not out, but you hear rumors, and my initial response is,
what is wrong with that?
I know. I'm just there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, they're not out.
Yeah, they're not out as Republicans.
No, they keep their stuff private, is what I meant.
Yeah, because liberals are out of their fucking.
I understand that. But
good Lord.
Listen to my fucking point, though.
Okay.
Let me finish my point. Okay. My initial reaction is like, right, but it's like, no, it's. Well, I'm just gonna make up a name. It's Joey. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like it has nothing to do with we're in it. Just listen, Bill. Right.
Well,
we're in a volatile like.
I just love how judgmental the left is. You don't know anything about. Oh, he's a good guy.
Dude, it's like messing with my whole. I had this big discussion with my wife last night talking about the irresponsibility of religion with a higher power, where they go like, oh, people have freedom of choice. So it's just like, so when a serial killer is born, that's not on God at all. Like, whoa, leaned a little too far this way on that. Like, that's not on him at all. He gets to walk away from all of that. And if you watch like all of these nature videos and just how the whole thing is set up, that, the big eat the little, and how there's certain animals that their only way of survival, like rabbits, no fucking defense whatsoever. Their only defense that they get is that they can fuck so much and have so many of them that you can't wipe them out. But the second you're a rabbit, I'm going to get killed by a snake, eaten by a coyote, ripped apart by wild dogs. That is their fucking existence, and they don't hurt anybody.
Their sex must be so frantic and anxious and fueled by, I'm finished, the snake's going to come any moment.
I know,
I've got to
looking over your shoulder as you're banging.
Fucking walked into the singles bar. What did women always say? What do? They're not making small talk. Okay? Women all fucking judge, their status. And then they get a number in their head. All right? And then they find out the jobs, that earn this and earn that. And then they figure like who they can fuck. Okay? And then it becomes a thing of like, okay, you're underneath what I want for the lifestyle that I'm looking for in the future. But you're a good-looking enough guy that I'll fucking bang you tonight. Maybe I'll have a little fling with you. But that's at the end of the fucking day, you know, when you slid that piece of paper across the table and you made your offer, say, my dick and balls bring home this each year. They're like, yeah, keep it moving. Keep it moving. That's 10 grand less than I want, and you got that one snaggletooth. Fuck off. Move on. Who's next? Go ahead. Put your junk on the table. What's your number?
It's nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A, it's going to be with the R, and he hit the R, he like stuck the landing. It was like a dismount, Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of like a potential ass-kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Like, trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know, those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you. Their eyes are up. You just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know what my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, it just must be a... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk, you're like, you suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! And they're always calling him up, come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like... I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'7" 6', 110-pound white dude had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have. He's an idiot.
The Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Ben Mankiewicz from Turner Classic Movies, and from comedy, it's Bill Burr. Hey, Bill, how are you?
How are you? How's it going?
That's going.
Who am I looking at? This is weird. Good. I can see myself there.
See that? You're looking at the right. You're looking. Just look at me.
I just got back from a remake of the new $6 Million Man episode. Look at this.
Is that what you look?
Breakdancer or something. It's terrible. Be honest with you, whatever I'm looking at, I forgot. I didn't forget. I thought it was at 1:30. It's actually at 11:30. So
that's why you didn't have time to look pretty?
Yeah, that's why. I got my hat on. I don't want people thinking that I'm disrespecting your show. Look at you guys. You're all dressed up. Got your jacket on. This is all official.
It's all right.
I should be the guy in the field that they interviewed. Well, we do have an eyewitness. It was a 4-door sedan. That's how I'm dressed. Right.
No, I just wear the jacket to cover my hump. That's the only reason.
Oh, that's all right.
Otherwise...
Hey, I wear the hat to cover the bald spot.
Oh.
We're all doing our things.
You're not doing the Propecia?
No. Why would you do that? You think you're not... Okay, the hair's not going to fall out. Then what? It attacks my liver? What am I going to want when I'm 80? To be able to do this or to have this thing working?
That's exactly... Okay. I started taking it. It works, obviously. But I had
Jimmy asked the same question, just has a different answer. He gave up the liver.
I gave up the liver.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm like, they'll be able to figure it out in 20 years, right? I'll be able to. They'll put me up to a machine or something, or Mickey Mantle. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
You gotta shake...
Right, Mickey Mantle's fine. Yeah.
You got to shake a lot of hands to get up that liver list. You know?
You got to take it on top of the donor.
You're going to have to tone down your act, man. If you're going to need some friends. A couple of senators. I'm going
to stop making fun of Dr. Oz, and he's going to get me in. But
I'm just waiting for the pill.
What do you mean? What pill? I got the pill. Propecia.
No, the one pill. You just throw it in. But the side, you got to pay somehow. I feel like you're gonna feel like your head's on fire for 90 seconds. So they just strap you down, and they just go, "Hey, ready? Wait. Okay, do it." You just, and then you come out, and then you have to go into therapy.
I'd much
to deal with that level of pain. You shake for like 3 days, but you just have a cough that will make.
I'd rather get it over with, right? I'd rather just have it be horrible instead of not be like everything happened to me, right? So I started losing my train of thought. That happened. My balls started hurting, and
from Propecia.
From Propecia. In fact, I Googled my balls hurt, which is how I found out.
That's what they say really quick at the end of the commercial, right? And then your balls hurt.
You might forget what we're talking about. Your balls might hurt. You may experience sudden ball pain.
Yeah.
I did. I thought I went to my doctor. I don't have cancer. All right, it's good. All right. But I did. I went and I ended up in a Propecia chat group, and that's where all these...
pulling the hair from your crotch. That's what it is, right out through the top of your head.
It takes them right off of my sack and puts them up here.
You went into a Propecia chat group?
Yes.
Really?
And because when I Googled my balls hurt, then I'm like, oh, I have that. So I had to stop taking it, but it's still kind of hanging on, so I'm happy.
That is a depressing chat group. That is not a bunch of guys sort of celebrating life there.
Yeah. You know what's scary though is as you type in Propecia and you type in my and just the B of balls and it just goes balls hurt. Click. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. Look, I mean, what are you trying to do? You're going to try to be on People magazines?
You know what? I'm married and everything. Who cares, right?
Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? You're right. I'm going to let it go.
Yeah, and you don't want to be on that sexiest list, man. Those are the people that go, man, what happened to him?
I don't want to have one of those problems where you get too much pussy. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
No, I got to tell you though, it's fantastic. just so you know.
Being on the sexiest list?
Having the hair. I mean, come on, it's fucking glorious.
No, I know. I that's why I'm willing to have my balls. All right, so here, let's get to
All right, tonight's guest is one of the most talented comedians around and my all-time favorite comic. He's an actor. You've seen him on Chappelle's Show, Breaking Bad, and the movie The Heat. I am personally grateful to him because he helped me get this show on the air by appearing on the pilot. Please give a warm welcome to my good friend, Bill Burr, everybody! Bill Burr!
Little high chair here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, it's your show. You're tall.
Yeah, I know. I
sort
kind
of
of bring,
average.
but we seem like the same. Like, look in the monitor. That's about right.
I look uncomfortable.
Actually, that was an internet comment I saw that was like, they said, when I see people in high chairs pretending to have like a casual conversation and never addressing the fact that they're in these
You
preposterous
got
high
to.
chairs.
There should be a high top bar here with like potato skins. It's very, very Applebee's going out of business.
Which is kind of perfect because I feel like an Applebee's waiter, don't I? Just like flaming fajitas. Doesn't that feel?
Yeah, you have like that. Like I don't know if it's me, but you're so happy. Sometimes it bothers me. It does. It's just like, all right, I get it. The sun is shining. Just take it down a little bit. Like I get actually anxiety around people as happy as you. It's like
Is that right?
I can't hit the ball back, dude. I can't sustain. It's a rally. You come into the net with your happiness. I'm just like, this is over. He's gonna smash it right at me.
The happy ball.
Yeah, the happy ball.
You're a happy fella. You come off as agitated, but you know.
Oh yeah, I'm affable.
You're likable.
No. People have a tendency that they will watch your act, and then they just think like, oh, he's like that 24/7, screaming and yelling, and that's not true. I mean, it is definitely a chunk of my day. No, I don't like being, angry. I don't want to be that guy. I'd like to be jolly, but it hasn't been in the cards so far. I try to be.
Well, we were going to have you on the first week. We were going to have you on the first week, but then you went and got married.
Yeah.
Which I
finally grew up.
Yeah.
Yes, I
did. Yeah. Do you remember on my podcast you railed for about 30 hilarious minutes against marriage? Like the most persuasive, never get married, it's a racket, they're going to take half your shit, that lie.
Yeah, but at this point, no, that's true. And I maintain that. It is an absolutely insane thing to do.
Yes.
Gay or straight. Gays have no idea what they're walking into. I can't wait. I don't wish this on anybody. But when the gay divorces start coming in, they're really going to step back, I think, being like, what the hell were we wishing for here? I could have sent him a card on his deathbed. I didn't. It really wasn't worth that.
Because they can't.
That was their big thing. I can't go and say goodbye when they're dying. But that's if you make it. But it's literally like, as far as marriage is working, that's like the sperm making it to the egg. Yeah.
You're saying...
Dude, it's facts. Most of them don't work. And then you got to start all over again. Just busted,
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to work because it usually sides for the women. But when you got two dudes, like how is that going to work out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I guess it works out for whoever's making more money. This is classic, like how I talk on the podcast. I just get into it, and then I realize, oh, hey, I'm a moron, and I didn't read up on this. Yeah, how is that going to work out?
Well, God.
I'll tell you it's going to work out. The gay dude who's not doing shit is going to get all this stuff and be like, oh, I'm used to a certain lifestyle, right? And then the gay guy who's killing it, he's going to go back to the studio apartment, calling it right now. Calling it right now. It's going to be horrible.
So
That'll be great. It'll bring straights and gays closer together. Just start like a divorce bar, like all people welcome. And you just compare notes, like what's more horrific? A bitter ex-dude or a bitter ex-woman?
Yeah, when they wrote that "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned," there weren't as many public gay relationships, so maybe that's real bad too.
Yeah, but they didn't have the right to try. They not being married, they didn't have a legal contract.
Right.
So I think when they broke up was probably whoever was stronger. They just sort of wrestled for stuff. You guys are taking this really seriously. Does he really think that's how gay people break up? I'm just messing around. He introduced me as a comedian, right? Am I going to have to go on split screen with a blogger tomorrow? Right? Comedy, can it go too far?
We're going to come back with more of Bill Burr. There's no way we're ending this. Billy Burr, our first two-act interview.
There you go. There you go.
Do you want to read the card?
Welcome back, everybody. I'm still here with Bill Burr.
We have time for one question. When you die, is it just lights out?
I hope so. I really hope so.
There's a comfort in that.
Yeah, it's just over. Thank God. And I think you just go in the ground, and if they would stop putting people in boxes, if they would just put them in the ground, you would nourish the soil,
right?
And somebody else would have an at-bat.
Yes.
You know, these people, getting their heads frozen, trying to come back to do what? What are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna come back. Like, how much time? Like, Ted Williams just has his head frozen. That wasn't his choice. Like, how long is that head gonna be frozen before they have a cure for having no body? You know? So let's just say they come up with it. A cure. You're gonna be like, I already have a generation gap when I do a college gig. I just can't imagine coming back like thousands of years later. And you're not hip on music. People are making references to, that's like the French and Indian War of, 3,500. You're like, you have no idea what anybody is talking about. You don't know how to levitate. You can't, communicate without speaking. You're going right to the circus. You're going right to the circus. You came back to work at the circus.
Bill Burr, everybody. My favorite comedian. Bill Burr. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thank you, Bill. You're amazing.